Ladies and gentlemen, this is a six-round affair in the welterweight division. Fighting out of the corner, the professional record of no wins, 2 losses, and no draws. Hailing from India, this is Kushal Vyas. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, with a professional record of 4 wins, 1 loss, and no draws. Hailing from the Philippines, this is Jason Balajadia! Judges ringside, Blue House, Pinoy, Host, Juan, and Carlos Costa. Referee in charge of the action, Chris.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to resume the action with a battle between the Philippines and India in the welterweight division. Jason Balajadia in the red corner and Kushal Vyas in the blue.
Philippines taking on India. Definitely the Philippines have got their own style of boxing, and India definitely have their own. It's a good matchup already on paper. Let's see how it goes, Ali.
But what is that style, Jimmy, that you talk about so much? We see it all the time with Filipino fighters. What are you looking for?
Well, with the Filipino fighters, you've got to look at the famous fighters from the 40s and the 50s. It was all grit. It was march forward for as many combinations as you can, and it's always front foot boxing. It's almost like trying to finish the fight in as least time possible and constantly firing on angles. Not much power behind the shots, but a lot of intention as well on your angles. Now with the Indian style, it is very much just swinging and a hook, swinging a hook. It's almost like, you can see it now, he's got his jab very low. He's trying to set up just a lead hook with a jab. That's a very typical Indian style as well. It's very hook heavy.
Wanting him to walk into range and then step off with the hook, almost like a check left hook. Is that what you mean?
To an extent, but they're always throwing it. They're always throwing hooks off the pivot as well. There it is. You see, he doesn't throw the jab, he just throws the hook almost as the first punch. It's a very interesting style. It's hard to deal with, but it's like long range and medium range hooks.
The man in the know with his crystal ball working overtime. Let's see what these two can muster up as we go past the first minute in round 1.
Yeah, Jason with the southpaw stance taking on Kushal in the orthodox. So it's going to be a battle of the footwork as well. And as you can see, as I said, that Jason goes straight into the orthodox position. So maybe going for a little bit of a switch hitting style, which does work very well, Ali, against someone who likes to hook a lot. If you can't, if you like to switch your style, a hook's going to land the same way whether you're an orthodox or a southpaw, so you can switch your stance quite often.
It's just trying to make sure you don't get caught when you switch stances, especially if you come off against a fighter that is very confident. Let's say you switch to southpaw and you've got your opponent that's got a very good right hand that unlocks that stance.
Very good point indeed, because as soon as you start switching, you have to go square on. If you're hit with a hook whilst you're square on, that's usually when you go to the canvas. You don't need a hard shot when you're square on. But a beautiful lead right hand by Jason as he switches stances once again.
Well, they call the early rounds the feel-out rounds, where you just download as much information as possible, and we can definitely see that between these two. They haven't really let their punches go too much. They've just been placing shots so far in round 1 between Jason and Kushal.
Yeah, I mean, it is a feeling out process, and you can see there Jason set up that darting right hand and then switched into the orthodox back into southpaw as well. So he's trying to find his range. He's almost just powwowing. He's trying to find that range to set up that big left hand down the middle. But at the same time, I think Kushal's doing a good job of just evading danger. However, I do think Kushal's going to walk on some. It looks like he's going to get complacent.
Well, Jason landed probably the best punch in the round so far with that left hook to the body early on. Swing and a miss there from Jason as he moves still in southpaw.
And you can see Jason is throwing such an odd jumping style of a punch because he isn't respecting the power of Kushal at the moment. Almost because Kushal hasn't given him anything to worry about, Kushal really needs to do something, because right now Jason is just trying new moves. It's like trying a new recipe out. He's got no fear at the moment. And that is the end of round number 1. A very interesting round. Not a lot going on paper, but we did see a few big hands get hit. I would give that round to Jason Balajadia just for the sheer aggression factor, and also he did land some nice jabs and some nice body shots as well.
However, I did like how elusive and evasive Kushal was with his footwork. He danced around that ring several times. It made me dizzy, Jim.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing as well, because is it good footwork or is it someone trying to find their footing in a fight, which is the big difference here? Because, look, we know he's got a record, but he's yet to have a win on his record yet. And I think he's trying to find his own style as well. So keep dancing around, keep trying to find your own style. I would like to see him actually start using that jab, start using the pivot correctly, start throwing the right hand along with it. A very interesting round, but we're going to see how Jason adjusts to the floating butterfly style of Kushal Vyas.
Okay, here we go. Round 2 coming up. We are set for 6. Let's see if we go that far. Kushal in the blue and gold. Jason Balajadia in the black and yellow.
Very exciting shots worn by both of these people. It's nice to look at, so to speak. Even if not many punches are being landed, it's a very aesthetic, pleasing shot.
Well, I'm glad you're satisfied, Jim. Balajadia on the front foot. High guard there from Balajadia. A lot of confidence being shown from the man from the Philippines in round 1. Let's see if he can carry that into round 2. Great right hand there. Hits the chops of Kushal. And Kushal is down. He's out. Is he out? Don't know if he's going to get back up from that. The referee is at 6, 7, 8. Completed the count. That absolutely connected flush on the button, Jim. And he goes in for it again.
And that was the interesting part here. I think it was that exact moment that we were talking about. Jason was not at all scared of his opponent. So what he did was he treated his opponent then. And unfortunately, that Kushal Vyas allowed it to happen by not moving with it and not giving Jason anything to worry about. But a beautiful, beautiful right hand on the temple. Anyone who gets hit there, Ali, is going down. And then that final shot, I don't think that final shot is what really put him out.
Morgay for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout was stopped with 54 seconds left in round number 2. Your winner by